Hey Calc 2, so this is question 31 from the partial fractions homework. So you have integral of dx over x times x squared plus 1, and you're going to start by splitting up these two factors into two fractions. So you have x and x squared plus 1. So we're going to put a over x, and since this term is quadratic, you'll always have bx plus c on the top. So next up is we're going to eliminate these three denominators. So we have 1 over x squared plus 1 equals, and I got that from right here, and then it's over equals a over x plus bx plus c over x squared plus 1. And we're going to multiply this whole thing by these two factors right here. So x and x squared plus 1. So we're going to go this part times these two. So we can see that they cancel out pretty nicely. So we have 1 equals, in a over x, we see that these two x's cancel. So we have a times x squared plus 1, and then plus we have bx plus c over x squared plus 1, and we can see that the x squared plus 1 cancels out, so we're left with bx plus c times x. And next we're going to solve for our variables. So the easiest one to solve for first is a. And by doing that, we can set x equal to 0. And because if you look over here, we have this single x term times bx plus c. So if this x was 0, it's going to eliminate the bx plus c, leaving us with just a. So by setting x equals 0, have 1 equals a, substituting 0 for x, 0 squared plus 1 plus 0 again. Then in the middle we have b times 0 plus c. So simplifying this, we get 1 equals 0 squared is 0, plus 1 is 1, and 1 times a is just a. And over here, we can see that these two cancel out with each other. So a equals 1. I'll write it up here. And I will erase this so that I have room to solve for b next. So going back to this again, to solve for b, we're gonna plug in a. There's three things you need to do to solve for b. So first thing's plug in 1 for a. And to solve for b, you need to get rid of the c. So then next, we're going to set c equal to 0. And then just pick any other number for x. So let's pick x equals 2. X equals 2. 1 equals, plug in 1 for a, 1, then times 2 squared plus 1, plus 2 over here, and then b times 2 plus 0. And simplifying it, go 1 equals 2 squared plus 1, so 2 squared is 4, plus 1 is 5, 5 times 1 is still 5. So you have 2b, 2 times b is 2b, plus 0 is still 2b, and then times 2, 4b. So plus 4b. And if you bring the 5 over, you get a negative 4. Negative 4 equals 4b. And if you divide the 4, you get b equals negative 1. You're going to write that up here. So I'm going to erase this so I can solve for c. And solving for c, almost the same thing you did with b. You're going to plug plug in A, and you're gonna plug in B. And then you're gonna pick any other number for X. And let's pick 3. X equals 3, we got 1 equals A equals 1, times substituting 3 for X, so 3 squared plus 1, plus, have your 3 over here again, and then you could go up here, B is negative 1, you have negative, and then the X is 3, so negative 3 plus C. And we're going to simplify, so 1 equals 3 squared is 9, plus 1 is 10, times 1 is 10. Plus 3 times negative 3 is a negative 9. And 3 times C is 3C. Plus 3C. Right? So next, so you see that 10 plus the negative 9 is 10 minus 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. And if you bring the 1 over, you get 0. So 0 equals 3C. You divide the 3, C equals 0. So right up here. And now we are done with this portion. So I'm going to erase this, and we're going to plug it back into this integral I wrote up here. Alright, so the integral A is 1 over X plus, and B is negative 1, so you have negative X plus C is 0 over X squared plus 1 dx. Right, so then I'm going to erase the 0 because it's unnecessary. Then I'm going to anti-derive. So ln of x, absolute value of x is the antiderivative of 1 over x. You're going to go plus. You're going to bring down your negative x. And then that times the ln of absolute value x squared plus 1. And since this is not a linear factor, you're going to have to multiply this by the reciprocal of the derivative of the inside. So what that means is we're taking the derivative of the baby function, which is 2x. Then the reciprocal of 2x is 1 over 2x. And then you're going to multiply this by 1 over 2x. And simplifying this, we get ln of x, and then let's just go ahead and make this a negative. Positive times a negative is a negative, so minus x ln x squared plus 1 times 1 over 2x. And we simplify this further. Ln of x minus, we can see that these 2x's cancel out, so you're just left with 1/2 ln of x squared plus 1. And since you derived, or you anti-derived an indefinite integral, you have to put your plus c at the end. And this is your final answer. You have natural log absolute value of x minus 1/2 of the natural log absolute value of x squared plus 1 plus c.